How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to another rendition of the top replays and highlights series, your favorite series here on YouTube. I'm sure of it, the most consistent series. But last time, I believe we did all mermails. Whoops, all water. But today, we're mixing it up because I've got a wide range of things to show you. There might be a little bias towards Block BA, but hey, I love that deck, and seemingly you guys do too, so I don't know. But I've got some user-submitted replays from some of my Twitch subscribers as well. So if you guys want to get in on the ability to have your replay featured on this show, subscribing to me on Twitch and being in the Discord will get you access to submit your replays to be featured in these videos. So want to support the channel and again have your replays featured, something to take into account. And also, if you want to see this stuff happen live, I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday around 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would love to have you there, and you can check these things out as they happen live. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Let's roll the intro. Alright, so the first replay I want to show you guys here is titled Full Combo because it sort of showcases what the new full combo looks like for my Block Dragon BA deck. So let's just get right into it here. First things first, you can see I'm playing against an Orcus deck, and not just any Orcus deck, but the rank up version, which I feel like is probably the worst version of Orcus you could probably play right now. I just feel like it's too inconsistent and is a bit too fragile. So as you're going to see here, I go first. I get things started with the Mathematician, sending the O-line to be able to go, of course, into the one-card Cherubini. From there, using its effect to send the Graph, summon out the Seer, and now we're going to take a chance on the Snack. Snack will go through, and a Jackalope will get discarded, summoning out another Snack. And then we're going to go straight into our first Saryuja and resolving all of our chain links, summoning out the Dante, adding back the Seer. I have so many Gilasaurus in my hand at this point, but it doesn't matter because it's just free real estate. And I'm going to go into Curious and use its effect to dump the glow-up bulb so we can complete the Naturia Beast, which we're going to do right now, milling that one of Sekka's Light, which we're going to use to put back the Gilasaurus. We find a Gallus, which is always nice, summoning out that other Gila, and then going into a second Saryuja, adding back the Graph, picking up a Defrag Dragon there, discarding the Dot Scaper, which is great to see, going into Nightmare Cerberus now, summoning back out Block Dragon, going into Phoenix, making Avermax. The newest addition to the end board is the Lingeribo. So as you can see here, this is the full combo now, essentially. Only losing to Dark Ruler no more. Literally one card in the entire game. Well, there's two, Sphere Mode, but besides the point, the main deck evenly matched has been a bit of a fear for this deck. And Lingeribo does answer it because we have quite a few cards that are readily accessible that we can use to make Lingeribo. Just needing one level 4 or lower. Cybers, Dotscaper, and Sea Archiver are cards that come to mind and giving us that protection against a main deck evenly matched. We're going to pass it over to my opponent, who is playing a rather, it looks a little weird. Might be playing Needle Fiber in his extra deck. I'm not entirely sure, but there's nothing he can do there. So he's just going to scoop. And we're going to go into the next replay. So this next replay is sort of the polar opposite of the first one we just saw. If you guys like big boards being made, that's one thing. But maybe you're the type of person that likes to see these big boards get absolutely destroyed. So I'll let this one play out here. And if you look at my opponent's hand, you might sort of get the idea of what might happen. So he does have the impermanence for Tour Guide, but it's no big deal. Gallus will follow it up immediately into Cherubini, going for the Graph, Seer, Snake, resolving, drawing into a Jackalope, which is always nice to see. Milling 3 into an O-line, which gets me the extra token. Jackalope goes through for an additional draw, getting Sangan as well, which I can summon off the Libic, which is so key. So Sangan will allow me to grab Gilasaurus, and of course all the other chain links resolving here. Drawing into a Glow Ball, which is nice. Gonna use Saryuja to get that onto the board, and then summon out the Gilasaurus, go right into the Curious while I still can to get that Block Dragon I need to the grave, and then linking everything off from there into my second Saryuja, adding back the Graph, adding 2 Giganti since the Fossil Dyna is in the graveyard. Gonna use the Foolish Burial, because this is a time where I was still playing 1 second and 1 Foolish, which I'm no longer doing, And then as you can see here, getting out Archiver and the Dotscaper as potential candidates for a possible Lingaribo play. But at this point, we're going to start linking into our Avermax, get into our Lingaribo, make the rank 3 we desperately need to make to get back our banished Fossil Dyna there, sort of as the last piece of the puzzle. But my opponent is just so good at this game. Not only does he have Dark Ruler no more, he has 2 of them, but he also has a Lightning Storm. So luckily my Fossil Dyna and my Block Dragon will still live because they're not in attack position. But yeah, now you actually get to see what deck he's playing, and lo and behold, it's Evil Eye, and he grabs the Solemn Judgment off the Duality. Must be nice. So the game is going to play out a little bit here because I'm trying to think, you know, how can I outgrind him at this point? I know what he has set. I know he's got a Judgment, so I got to kind of play it safe. So I just go into the battle phase here and start attacking into his monster and just try to chip him down, essentially, in life points. I go into the Dingirsu, and he goes ahead and uses Solemn Judgment. Now, here's a bit of a heads-up play, is that I have an Edgem Sabers in my graveyard. So one thing I could have done, and this is somebody that pointed out in my chat, actually, that I could have stacked Gizmek with the Sabers and then milled it with Gallus to burn for 16, and then next turn I would have been able to attack for game, but I didn't see that, so I end up wasting the Gallus essentially, and the game continues to play on, where he's going to continue to gain more advantage, gets the continuous, and then uses Duality and goes ahead and grabs the Super Poly, so it must be nice. Going to go into the battle phase, and now his monster's big enough to get over my Block Dragon. Not only does it get over it, but it also banishes it. I'm just going to use Jackalope. He hits the Jackalope, summons out the Snack, and I really just am sort of losing from here on out. He's going to go into the battle phase, banish the Gallus, getting rid of another Earth target, and then I'm just passing, and this game is really just not looking good anymore. Like I said, that was a pretty heads-up play, though. Could have stacked the Gizmek with the Sabers and possibly milled for more damage in the next turn. Swung over top, yeah, I would have taken a little bit of damage, but he would have taken enough to see, you know, the game being over. But luckily here, I tried to make a valiant comeback, top decking Mathematician, dumping Giant Rex, using not Archiver, but Sabers, and then he has the Predaplant Link requiring 3 Dark Monsters, and that just sort of seals it. I was hoping he wouldn't have that, or at least have access to it, but lo and behold, he does. So, oh boy, we got very unlucky with that one, and yeah, must be nice to open both D-Ruler and Lightning Storm game 1. Alright, so this next replay is called Ling Ling Baby because, well, Lingaribo comes in a little clutch, if you will. I mean, it's not super clutch, but it just sort of shows off how useful Lingaribo can be. Not only being able to negate cards like Evenly Matched, but a myriad of other trap cards as well. So I'm playing against here what looks to be pure Time Thief. He has the Regulator set, or Retrograde. It negates spells and traps, which you guys know my deck really only plays one of those, and that's Sekka's Light. So that card is really next to useless at this point. Don't get the best mills off of the Dante, and resulting in me just going right into battle phase. And doing as much as I can. Main phase 2 making Cerberus, or not Cerberus, but the Phoenix rather, providing a discard outlet for the Glow Up Bulb, adding back Seer, summoning Dante in the process. Glow Up Bulb mills a surprisingly a Block Dragon here, which is going to allow me to sort of combo here in main phase 2. Not only am I resolving a Saryuja, but I'm also resolving the Block Dragon and the Dante again. Saryuja is going to put the Sangant on the board, and then summoning out all of those and going into another Saryuja, and then Sangant activating here to search another Gila Source. Again, it's just free real estate at this point. And now I'm just trying to set up the, maybe go for Curious here. Yeah, going to go for Curious now. Use that to send the Sea Archiver to grab possibly my, you know, Cyber's target for potential Lingaribo, but that's what I'm going to use the Dotscaper for, since it does fit the bill. And as you can see here, the only thing we're really missing at this point is something like Dingirsu or Avermax, because we don't have any battle phase or, you know, destruction by battle protection. You know, he's only going to be getting monsters off of this Redoer, so I don't care too much about it staying on the field, and we're just going to swing in for everything I have. I decided to be a little conservative and leave my Fossil Dyna in defense position, otherwise it would have been game. He goes into battle phase again this turn and runs over the Fossil Dyna this time, allowing me to use the Graph, use the Seer to revive the Farfa, and then Farfa is going to get attached before he can, before it can even hit the field. And then he's going to use his other Time Thieves now to go into another Redoer. And then both Redoer's effects activating here in the standby phase. Now I'm going to bring back Mathematician, link into the BLS link, summon out a Block Dragon, summon out another Block Dragon. He has There Can Be Only One, which will slow me down just a little bit. But the Lingeribo can negate. And then I put the Defrag Dragon on the board, and it's just a game over from there. So Lingeribo being pretty cool to negate key floodgate cards, which in some cases can be hurtful. But I mean, I'm only having to put away one Block Dragon since I do have a Warrior, a Dragon, a Beast, and a Rock, and I could have a Dinosaur as well. So yeah, it wouldn't have been too hurtful, but Lingeribo coming in very clutch there. So this next replay I have for you guys is Spiral versus Shaddoll. This is from a little while back. I think this was on the 14th. I was actually testing for locals a bit, and I wanted to practice against some Spiral. And luckily, I think I opened one of my side deck cards here, which happened to be the Droll Lockbird, which to this day is still one of the better side deck cards against the deck. I mishap a little mishap with the chain links on the Wendy and Falco. I should have used the Wendy and not the Falco to get the Beast from deck, but it is what it is. Winda doing literally all in its power right now to keep our Spiral player at bay, using Master Plan, and then he's going to play Assault. The Super Agent misses. Tough tries to go through. I have the Imperm for it because I might as well burn it at this point. He's going to set one and pass it over to me, finding a Pot of Desire, so hopefully draw into some Shaddoll cards, find Resh and Shaddoll Beast, which is great. He's going to use the Mission Rescue to add back the Tough now, and getting a Danger Jackalope for turn. Going to call a Monster, reveals the Trick Clown, so he'll be able to clear the Resh Shaddoll, which is fine. Now going into Double Helix, but still unable to clear this Winda at this point, which means he can't do much more than what he's doing right now. His hand is just like the definition of a floodgate, keeping all those cards at bay. Using Shaddoll Fusion now to go into Construct, and this is where we're going to start getting things going. Using Wendy to set the Ariel from deck, normal summoning the Trick Clown, now going into the Cross Sheep, adding back the Fusion and summoning out the Trick Clown, and then using Resh to flip up the Ariel to bring back Construct, and then using the effects of Cross Sheep and Construct here. You know, sending Hedgehog to get a Squamata in my hand, linking into IP Masquerena, going into El Shaddoll Fusion now for Construct, and then just slowly working my way here into a Boral Sword, which also can't be destroyed by card effects at this point either. Swinging in with everything. He does have the Mission Rescue to bring back the Master Plan, but it does not matter. Boral Sword still has a second attack. And for a few turns there, Winda buying us so much time. Absolutely absurd. Too bad he didn't see any effect negation cards like Chalice or Impermanence. Otherwise, this game could have gone the complete opposite direction. So the next replay we have here is from Mr. Academic. He is a longtime supporter of the channel here on Twitch and YouTube. So huge shout outs to him. And here is his replay titled A Good Board Disassemble. Looks like playing the pure Mekk Knights here, getting started with a Pyria and purple. You really couldn't ask for a better start. You going into the Morningstar, ditching the Indigo, and setting a few back row and passing. Going against Tobre here, which is another Discord member of mine actually, so cool to see him in this replay. Trying to resolve Isolde, but he's going to have these secrets for the Red Moon to negate the Isolde. Now going into Anki here and resolving some effects that I'm really curious as to why he's resolving them. But he's going to go into the battle phase here and dodging pretty much everything because of that Morningstar. Now we're going to see purple resolve to get blue. And he also has Gizmek, you know, the Supreme Shining Sky Stag in his hand as well. Just summoning that out now just to completely clear out the rest of this field. Summoning the Isolde here after the attack goes through from Gizmek, and just completely wiping the slate clean right then and there. So Mekk Knights doing what they do best, you know, playing if need be the control game turn one, going first, and then just completely swarming the field next turn and going for the OTK. Cards like Gizmek Kaku really helping to accelerate that OTK process, as you've seen here. Alright, so this next replay we have here is another user submitted replay from one of my glorious Twitch subs, Mr. Larry Sama himself. The replay titled Reading is Hard. And Mr. Larry here is, of course, playing Mekk Knights, one of his favorite decks currently, I believe. Trying to resolve Droll and Lockbird against this Lunalight player. But he does have the call by for of the Grave. And he does have Tiger Chick, so must be nice. Emerald Bird getting discarded off the snack there, finding a copy of Foolish Burial Goods, going all the way into Curious, dumping a Serenade Dance, and dumping a Perfume as well off the goods. And then just Tiger Chick shenanigans happening. Currently, Zephyros bouncing back Tiger, and Martin bouncing back the other Tiger. Going for the Utopia Kaiser play here too. I was not expecting this. I was perhaps expecting to see some more standard, Lunalight shenanigans, but going for the big eye here with the rank up spell. And we're going to see purple get summoned. On that summon, he's going to go right into Yugioh. Goes for the instant fusion, which he's not able to even resolve, I don't think. The turn rather stunted. But the name of the replay here is kind of, playing back in my head. Reading is hard, and I don't think our Lunalight player has taken the time to read Mekk Knight of the Morning Star, and purple is going to use this effect to dodge itself out of there and not take any battle damage. What would have been a massive OTK has been slighted by not reading. So now going for Red Moon. That is going to clear the Boral Sword out of the way, then using the purple to go grab yellow. Not having the ability there to clear the scale, because I don't think you'd want to clear the scale even to begin with, because I do believe they get effects. Utopia Kaiser being cleared with Red Moon, normaling Droll and Lockbird for another Morning Star and passing. So suddenly, what would look like an instant game win has suddenly turned in the favor of the Mekk Knight player. And using the effect here of this link that I've never seen before, Firefighting Darumadal, that will get negated with the secrets off of the Indigo. And it looks like we might see a Utopia play here. And again, the the inability to read the card Morning Star really taking its toll here on Unknown. So very unfortunate. But pretty hilarious, though, to see a massive comeback from what looked like an instant game win. I mean, he had Appaloosa Dweller with a, Yugioh. That's just very hard to come back from unless you have a card like Morningstar to really hold down the fort until you're able to make a comeback next turn. All right, so I've got two more replays left to show you guys. The first one I'm going to show is another submitted replay from Mr. Unknown Vanitas. Yes, Dino's almost timed out, so let's see what this replay is all about. Looks like Dinos versus Abyss Actors, so rather interesting deck. I don't know too much about Abyss Actors other than they are a pendulum-based deck that really thrives off just putting big monsters on the board, such as you see him doing, grabbing the Abyss script, opening Ceremony, and then gaining 3k, as you can see. Just leaving a whole bunch of bodies here because I believe he does get locked into Abyss Actors. Set rotation, going for Lost World and Diagram. Popping the baby, grabbing Litho, and then ditching Miscellaneous Saurus here, I believe. And then summoning out Ovi Raptor, summoning the Litho Sash on the Disaster by banishing or destroying 2 Earths, allowing him to banish 3 from the opponent's extra deck. And going into the Pentastag and summoning out, oh my god, this field is absolutely disgusting. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno going to do what it does best here, and it's just absolutely absurd. I mean, look at this field right here. He didn't even need the rest of the monsters that he had. He just needed UTC Pentastag. That's really all it comes down to. Everything else is just bonus points at this time. So yeah, and a double evolution pill in hand still. So yeah, Dino's a very scary deck currently. And a very, very, I don't know about budget friendly anymore, but still a very, very strong contender in this format, to say the least. Alright, so this is the last replay of the video, and if you guys do enjoy this video so far, please leave a like and possibly consider hitting the join button as well. But this is against that same Time Thief player from earlier that I had the There Can Be Only One negated with the Lingeribo, but this time we don't have Lingeribo for that, There Can Be Only One, or the Crackdown, which is very unfortunate. The only time There Can Be Only One really hurts this deck is when you're trying to resolve a tour guide because it has to bring out another fiend. But luckily for me, he's already burned 2 powerful traps at the start of the turn on just 1 monster. I'm able to follow up with Mathematician, go into Cherubini, and go right into Dante, milling some decent cards here, getting the Graph on board, but really not enough to really fully initiate the next phase of the combo, which is starting to gather your resources with Saryujas. He's going to draw a Solemn Strike and set it immediately. I'm going to start my turn with Dante. He's going to use Solemn Strike, but little does he know, Cherubini is going to prevent it from being destroyed by card effects. The effect's still negated, but I don't really care about Dante's actual effect to gain the attack. I just wanted to mill those cards. Now going to go into Phoenix, and I hit a set Waking the Dragon because I thought I might be cool by leaving that there can be only 1 on the field, and there I can just go take, you know, shots at his other back row. And then next thing you know, there's an Ultimate Falcon on the board, but Borrelsword Dragon is a very fair and balanced card. Doesn't care about Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon, the fact that he's unaffected by card effects, because Borrelsword doesn't have to affect the monster. He's just taking half the attack anyways. He'll just take a little less damage. And I accidentally hit the main phase 2 button instead of attacking again with Borrelsword. So I give my opponent 1 more turn, but luckily for me, he top decks the startup. And there's nothing he can do, as he will meet an untimely end in the next turn. So yeah, that's going to do it for these replays here this week. And I almost forgot to show you guys the deck list of the Block Dragon BA deck that was featured in this video. Here it is. As you can see, I was running the triple Gilasaurus, especially paired with the Sangan, because you can basically turn off the downside of Gilasaurus with the Sangan, especially if you get it off the tour guide. The combo becomes much easier. Was playing the Burial and the Sekka together, although I don't think I'll do this going forward. Playing Defrag Dragon in the main, and other than that, things looking pretty standard. Also have the Lingaribo in the extra deck. Side deck, I have been back and forth on, but you guys will probably see a more updated build in the following top replays and highlights as well. And I will show off my current Shaddoll invoked list, since there was some Shaddoll in this video as well. So yeah, as you can see, this is the list here, playing 3 of a lot of the Shaddolls, because I am playing Desires and Triple Allure as well. Also playing the Invoked package with the Alistairs, Invocations, and Meltdowns. As you can see, there is the extra deck also. Trying to make a little bit of a space compromise by being able to play both the Construct Link and the Invoker Madness Link as well, because I love both of these cards in here. I have a hard time really, you know, playing, you know, without one or the other. I really have been liking them in here, and you can see the side deck as well, pretty standard. And I also have the Luna version of Shaddoll for those that don't want to play the Invoked package because of the price point I believe it is sitting at now. This is a list that was similar to the one I took to locals a few weeks ago. Definitely could use a little improvement, but this is just sort of some ideas for those wanting a budget option. So that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment down below, and if you want to go the extra mile in supporting the channel, consider either hitting the join button down below for an exclusive set of perks and rewards, or possibly subscribing to me on Twitch. Link to that down below. So yeah, a huge shout out to all my Twitch subs and members here on YouTube. Your support is greatly appreciated to help me be able to do what I do for you guys. It really does help, and it is greatly appreciated. So yeah, as always guys, winner kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.